A shakeup at Toronto City Hall as a city councillor has lost his post for a second time. Jim Karygiannis lost his seat once again following a court ruling on election overspending. In the court decision released this morning, Ontario's Court of Appeal overturned a previous ruling that reinstated the Ward 22 councillor, saying he is subject to removal from office following allegations brought forward by a Toronto man.
The Ontario legislature intended for exactly this outcome. This is what it wanted. It wanted a quick, simple, low-cost way of weeding out cheaters.
According to the report, financial statements showed that Jim Karygiannis' spending exceeded the allowable $25,000 limit in the 2018 election. In question, a $27,000 victory dinner held 2 months after the election. Back in November, Karygiannis told a court that was a clerical error and there was no ill intent. He was reinstated to his post by the Superior Court judge who gave him the benefit of doubt. Adam Shaliff then appealed that decision, saying the judge made a mistake.
It was subverting the democratic process of our elections and giving politicians a way to overspend and then just say sorry afterwards and get their office back. Once you overspend in an election, you can't take that back.
The appeal was heard during a teleconference nearly 1 month ago, and part of the ruling said that Karygiannis has not been charged with an offense as a compliance audit is ongoing, concluding the judge wasn't authorized to grant relief from forfeiture before prosecution and conviction, that there is no jurisdiction to grant relief, and although not needed to consider by the 3-judge panel, the ruling states that the respondent, Karygiannis, quote, has not demonstrated to this court that this was a mere clerical error.
It appears that he was looking for ways to spend it that would reward those who were loyal to him. And in doing so, he was willing to flout the law and give out that check in a way that was not ethical.
The city clerk is expected to report to Toronto City Council on Monday to discuss the steps needed to fill the vacant position, with council having the last vote. In the interim, staff in Ward 22 will continue to provide support to residents.
He doesn't get a stay. In other words, assuming he can't stay for a period of time while he appeals, if that's what happens, then within a certain period of time we have to declare the seat vacant, and then there's a 60-day period that passes during which time we have to decide, do you appoint somebody or do you have a by-election? And given that we're less than halfway through the term, I think the odds heavily favor a by-election.
And Mayor Tory has also spoken with Karygiannis, who tells him he is now consulting with his lawyers. It's unclear at this point what his next steps are. City News reached out to both Karygiannis and his lawyers. We have not heard back. We also sent an email to the city here asking them about this audit, when it will be released. We have not heard back in time for broadcast. At Toronto City Hall, I'm Faiza Amin for City News.